Hello students, today we will do the dipole moment placed in uniform electric field. Now we have seen that the dipole has its electric field along the axial as well as equatorial point. That were the previous two topics. That was a field of a dipole. Now external field will exist and we will place a dipole in the external electric field. Now field can be uniform or non-uniform. The first is we place a dipole in a uniform electric field. So we have a topic dipole, or you can say a behavior of a dipole, electric dipole in uniform electric field. So we will see the behavior of this electric dipole, how it will behave when we place it in an external electric field. So let us take the external electric field along the y-axis. So external electric field is uniform, so it is drawn, the lines are drawn parallel to each other and equidistant. So this is a uniform electric field along the y-axis, this is our x-axis. So a dipole will be placed in this uniform electric field and we will see what should be its behavior. Now we know that when the electric field are drawn like this can be taken as a positive charges and this can be taken as a negative charge. Field lines emerge from the positive charge and terminate at the negative charge. Now a dipole, I consider this as a origin. Dipole is separated by a finite distance, so its midpoint should always be at the origin. So let us draw the dipole. This is plus q charge of a dipole. This is minus q charge of a dipole. Now if you remember, the dipole moment direction is from negative to positive charge. So this is the direction of a dipole moment, which is p cap. So I take this angle theta and I will read it as that theta is an angle between the dipole moment and uniform electric field intensity. This is uniform electric field intensity along the y-axis. So theta is, so first step you have to remember here, theta is angle between dipole moment, and dipole moment direction is from negative charge to positive charge denoted by p cap, and electric field intensity. Now if you get an angle theta in the final conclusion or in the final derivation, you should not remember it as a theta, you should remember it as a angle between the dipole moment and the electric field intensity, because in the numericals theta will be given to you. Now suppose if this is 30 degree, I can say theta is 30 degrees angle between E and P cap. But if this is given as 60 degree, then in the calculation theta should be taken as 30 degree and not the 60 degree. So you have to remember that theta is angle between P cap or between dipole moment and electric field intensity. So how the theory goes, that we place a electric dipole in a uniform electric field which is along the y-axis. The dipole is placed in such a way that it makes an angle theta with the electric field intensity. The direction of the dipole moment is from negative to positive charge. Now if I take this distance as a cap, now this is a cap, then this should be taken as a vector and minus a vector, because the total distance of a dipole was represented by 2a vector. So this is positive axis, so I take a vector, this as a minus a vector. Now this positive charge is attracted towards this negative charge, or you can say this positive charge is repelled. In any case, the force acting on this will be in the upward direction. Now electric field is given, charge is given, so force should be written in the terms of this. So we know E is equal to, what is the formula? E is equal to F by Q. So the electric field intensity E multiplied by Q will give you the force. So this is the force formula. By the definition, E vector is equal to F vector upon Q. So F vector can be written as Q E vector, that is upward force energy. This negative charge is attracted downward. So again the force is minus Q E vector. So we keep on writing the main points. Now see these forces. Now this distance between this negative and positive charge, and distance between this positive and negative charge of dipoles are equal. So both the forces have same magnitude but opposite direction. So the resultant electric force acting on dipole is 0. So what is the first conclusion, or how it behave? So there will be no resultant force acting on the dipole, and if the resultant force is 0, it will not perform translational motion, or you can say it will not perform linear motion. Means the dipole will not move linearly, neither upward nor downward, because the resultant force is 0. So there is no translational motion, which will be referred as the translational. So this condition is known as translational equilibrium condition. So what is the first conclusion, or what is the behavior of a dipole? When the dipole is placed in uniform electric field, it will not perform translational motion, or you say it is in translational equilibrium position. Now let us come to these two lines. Both the forces are anti-parallel to each other. So if I extend this line backward, which is known as line of action of force in 11th, and this line upward, so this is line of action of force of this force. Both the line of action of forces are separated by this distance. So if I draw the diagram here, this is my QE vector, this is my minus QE vector. So both this line, this is the line of action of force, this is the line of action of force. Sorry. So if you observe this, both the line or both the forces are parallel to each other, and they are separated by a finite distance. This is a finite distance. Now when these conditions happen, when two anti-forces are parallel to each other, they form a couple. So that is what we have studied in 11th rotational motion. So when a dipole is placed in uniform electric field, it behaves like a couple. Now if it behaves like a couple and the two lines of action of force are separated by a finite distance or a perpendicular distance, then the torque acts on it. So the resultant force will be 0, but because the position of both the charges is different and both the forces are separated by the perpendicular distance. We will determine this perpendicular distance. So this arrangement of a dipole is called as a couple, and the torque will act on it. And when the torque act on it, it will perform the rotational motion. Now let us see how the torque act and it perform a rotational motion. So it behave like a couple. So torque act on a dipole and it will perform rotational motion, and it will perform rotational motion. Now torque acting on that one charge, say plus q charge. So tau 1 will be written as the torque acting on plus q charge. Now torque formula, if you remember, torque is equal to R cross F. So here instead of R, we have A vector. I extend this line. This R vector is extended as you do this in the 11th standard. Now if you remember the 11th standard, this was the situation. This was point P. This was position vector. The R was extended, and if this is the force, this is angle theta. So torque was defined as the cross product of the position vector and the force acting on it. So here this A vector is extended, so this is A vector. This angle is theta. So in the place of R vector, I write A vector. Cross F, F means QE, so Q into E vector. This is the torque acting on plus Q charge. Similarly, torque 2 or tau 2 is equal to minus A. If I extend this angle becomes theta, and this becomes minus A vector. So it can be written as minus A cross minus QE. So this is equal to A cross QE. Now let us also see the direction also. Now when this is R cross F, we keep a screw perpendicular to the plane containing R and F and rotate it in a direction from R to F. Now let us place a screw at this point, plus Q charge. Now this screw is perpendicular to the plane containing A vector and QE vector. So this is a plane, this board is a plane. I keep a screw perpendicular to this plane. Both the vectors are in the plane of board. So the screw should be kept like that. Now rotate it from R to F means I rotate it from A to F. So if I apply the thumb rule, it comes out outside. It come out from the board. So the direction of tau 1 is coming out from the plane of paper. Or if I keep a screw and rotate it from R to QE like this, again the screw will come out. So the direction of tau 1 is coming out from the plane of the paper, say z-axis. And if I see the motion of the screw, it is anti-clockwise. So as far as board is concerned or rotation is concerned, I will write anti-clockwise, or the vector is coming out. If I say what is the direction of tau 1, it should be coming out from the plane of paper. Again I keep a screw here, minus A cross minus Q. Keep a screw at this point. Again rotate it from A to QE. So see the direction, again it will rotate in anti-clockwise direction. So this is equation 2. So when a dipole is placed in uniform electric field, it constitutes a couple and torque will act on the charges, and it will perform an anti-clockwise motion. It start rotating in anti-clockwise direction. Now the resultant torque. So resultant torque tau is equal to tau 1 plus tau 2. Substituting these values, A cross QE vector plus A cross QE vector. So this is twice A QE vector. Now if Q is a scalar quantity, I can bring this scalar quantity on this side. So it becomes Q 2A vector Q cross A. Now this 2A vector into Q is called dipole moment P vector. So what is the torque acting on a dipole is P cross E. And now if I find both are in anti-clockwise direction, so the direction is, or the screw will rotate or a dipole will rotate in anti-clockwise direction. So dipole, when I place a dipole in a uniform electric field like this, say this is a dipole. Now I have placed it like this. So it will start rotating in the direction of the field. It will rotate, we will see, till it gets aligned in the direction of the field. So this plus charge will be attracted towards minus, and this minus will be attracted towards plus, and it will start performing rotational motion because it is behaving like a couple. So direction is, the motion of the direction of a dipole is anti-clockwise. The direction of the motion of a dipole is anti-clockwise, and the direction of tau, if we want to take out, it will come out from the plane of the board. So it will be coming out from the plane of the board. Now P vector direction is from negative to positive charge. So this is the direction of, here I draw, this is the direction of P cap from negative to positive charge, and this is the direction of the field. So this is an angle theta, and this is your P vector. Now you keep a screw here. Again you rotate from P to E. Either you apply right hand thumb rule or a screw rule. Thumb will come out. So the direction of the torque is perpendicular to the plane containing P and E vector, or coming out from the plane of paper, and the direction of the motion of a dipole is anti-clockwise here. In the terms of magnitude, tau can be written as PE sin theta. So what is the torque magnitude acting on the dipole is PE sin theta. So this is the behavior of an electric dipole in uniform electric field. So what we have written, let us revise this. The first thing is, a dipole is placed in uniform electric field. The dipole should be placed in such a way that it should make, there should be an angle theta between the dipole moment and electric field intensity. Now when we place it, we find that two forces acting on the charge of a dipole are anti-parallel, and their magnitude is same, so they cancels each other. So it will not perform a translational motion, or it is in translational equilibrium condition. However, there are two lines of action of forces separated by a perpendicular distance, so it constitutes a couple. When it constitutes a couple, the resultant torque will act on it. We have found individual torque acting on the charges, and when we add it, and both the direction were same, so it was added, and it comes out to be P cross E. Now this is one way to determine the torque acting on a dipole. This is what the behavior is. Instead of this, I can, instead of this tau 1, tau 2 and then adding it, I can directly write tau is equal to, now this distance is a perpendicular distance between the two line of action of force. So if I drop a perpendicular here, say this is one vector, A vector, this is an angle theta. So this portion resolving it comes out to be A sin theta. And if I resolve this distance also comes out to be A sin theta. So what is the total distance? A sin theta, 2A sin theta. So the magnitude of torque is defined as the product of the magnitude of either force. So magnitude of either force into perpendicular distance between two forces. So if any system form a couple, the torque magnitude is defined as the magnitude of either force, the magnitude of either charge and the perpendicular distance between the two forces. So what is the magnitude of this either charge? That is equal to Q, and the distance is 2A cos theta. So here it comes out to be magnitude of either force only. So magnitude of either force is QE. So torque, magnitude of torque is defined as the magnitude of either force, that is QE, multiplied by perpendicular distance between the two forces. So perpendicular distance between the two forces is 2A sin theta. This is another method. Thus we have taken the help of tau 1, tau 2 and then directly finding out the resultant. This is another method. Directly you can get the answer. So perpendicular distance comes out to be 2A sin theta. Now this 2A multiplied by Q is called P. So remaining portion is PE sin theta. So this is the magnitude. And then tau can be written as P cross E. So here first we found P cross E and then we have written the magnitude. In this case, directly after writing that this will behave like a couple, I directly find out the magnitude. And the magnitude of the torque is equal to the magnitude of either force and the perpendicular distance between the two forces. So first I find out the magnitude and then in the vector form both are the same derivation. So whatever way you find it easier, you can write the theory. What is the final conclusion is now the torque act on a dipole. The torque will act on a dipole and its magnitude is PE sin theta, and in vector form it is P cross E, anti-clockwise direction. A dipole will rotate. Now dipole will not keep on rotating. So see, this dipole is placed at an angle 30 degrees. So both this torque was in anti-clockwise direction, so it will start rotating. Angle will decrease from 30 to 15, 15 to 10, 10 to 5 and then 0. Now when it becomes 0, sin 0 is 0. So torque acting on it is 0. So what is the final behavior? Whenever you place a dipole in uniform electric field, it will not perform translational motion. It will not perform linear motion. It will not move from one point to another. But since it form a couple, it will rotate if you keep it at an angle theta. And it will rotate till it gets aligned in the direction of the field. And once it gets aligned in the direction of the field, say this is our negative charge, so this will become positive and this positive will become, this is the positive charge, so this is negative. It will stop rotating because the torque becomes 0. This is the normal position of a dipole. This is called the normal position of a dipole. So let us conclude the behavior, which you have to remember, behavior of electric dipole. Number 1, when the dipole is placed in uniform electric field, it will not perform translational motion. It will not perform translational motion. That is, translational equilibrium position, it is said, it will not move from one point to the another. So it will not perform translational motion, or what we call it, translational equilibrium position. Second, it will perform rotational motion. It will perform rotational motion, but it will not keep on rotating. It will perform rotational motion till it gets aligned in the direction of the field. Till it gets aligned in the direction of field. Then it stop rotating. So this is two behavior of an electric dipole. Now let us come to the cases. Case 1. If theta is 0 degree, suppose I keep a dipole, this is my plus charge, this is my negative charge of a dipole. I place it here. So theta becomes 0. Sin 0, 0. So if theta is 0, then the magnitude of torque, or directly tau, is 0. This is called, or it is called, normal position or stable position or equilibrium position of a dipole. So we have a 3 name for this condition. So if you keep a dipole in such a way that it makes an angle theta with the electric field, it will not perform rotational motion. Translational motion तो कभी perform करेगा नहीं. It will perform rotational, rotate करेगा when it makes some angle. Now directly if you place 0 degree, at 0 degree, it will not perform the rotational motion also. ये तो कभी करने वाला ही नहीं है. एक पॉइंट यहां से चल के वहां नहीं जाएगा. इसकी possibility rotate होने की है, either clockwise or anti-clockwise depending upon the orientation of a dipole in the field. अगर थीटा 0 पे ही रख देते हो तो घूमेगा भी नहीं, चलना तो है ही नहीं उसने, घूमना भी नहीं. So that position is called as normal position or stable position or the equilibrium position of a dipole. Second case, if theta is equal to pi by 2 radian or 90 degree, so sin 90 is 1. In this case, and it is also the maximum value, the torque acting will be maximum. So maximum torque acting on the dipole formula is simply P multiplied by E. So if E is given, P is given, or Q and distance is given, so P can be written as Q into distance, then you don't need theta if they ask you to find out the maximum torque acting on the dipole. So this is the maximum torque. So if I place it like this, वापस से ये प्लस चार्ज है, ये माइनस, तो जैसे ही मैं इसमें रखूंगा ये फटाक से घूम के अलाइंड हो जाएगा. हमेशा इसका बिहेवियर ही अलाइंड होना है. As soon as you leave it, it will get aligned. So maximum torque act. And if theta is equal to pi radian, opposite रख देते हैं. I keep it opposite. So tau again sine of 180 degree. So it will perform a rotational motion, but it is the most unstable position. It is the most unstable position of a dipole. So if I place theta is equal to pi, so it becomes again 0. Sine 180 is 0 degree. So it is the most unstable position, and it is called unstable position of a dipole. साइन 0 0 1 0 minus 1 0. So it is the unstable position. So if I keep theta equal to 180 degree, again the torque acting is 0. Here also the torque acting is 0. So angle is 180. So it is normal position or a stable position. It is a unstable position of a dipole. So these are the cases of a dipole in uniform electric field. Now let us see what happens when we keep a dipole in non-uniform electric field. Non-uniform electric field can be represented like this. Say, if I draw a non-uniform field, say the lines are coming closer. Two field lines can never intersect each other, that we know. So here it is terminating. Now this is the negative charges and this is plus charge. Wider is the distance between the field line, less is the intensity, that we know. Here the density or the lines are closer, so intensity is more. Now I keep a dipole in this non-uniform electric field. Here I can say field is increasing along x-axis. Field is increasing along x-axis. Now I keep a dipole like this. This is plus q, this is minus q. Now here the force acting, now this is an angle theta. Now I have drawn the field along the x-axis. Remember, theta is angle between the dipole moment and the electric field intensity. This is dipole moment from negative to positive. So now it makes an angle theta. Plus q charge is in the region where the intensity is more, the lines are closer. Here the force acting minus QE vector. So if I say the 5 Newton force act on it, here the force acting will be QE plus something. This something we will try to find out in the numerical. Anyhow, because here the field is more, it is increasing along x-axis. If I say this force acting is 5 Newton, then the force acting at this point should be more, say 7 Newton. So this 7 can be written as 5 plus 2. Now what is this formula for 2 Newton? So if it is 7, here it is 5, I will write 7 as 5 plus 2. Now there should be some formula for 2 also. How I get 2. So there is a way to find out this formula, we will do later. Now what I want to say is, on plus q, the force acting is QE plus something, means more than QE, and the force acting on minus q charge is less, that is QE minus. So see the length, I have drawn this length more than this. So what will happen now? The dipole will perform translational motion. So in what is the conclusion? It will perform translational motion. It will perform translational motion. In this case, it will move along x-axis. इस तरफ चलेगा ये, और थीटा बना रहा है, टॉर्क भी एक्ट करेगा, because you see this is the field line, sorry, line of action of force. This is also line of action of force. Again both are parallel and there is a perpendicular distance. Again it constitute a couple. So it will perform translational motion. For this case it will move along the x-axis. It will also perform rotational motion. It will also perform rotational motion. तो चलेगा भी, घूमेगा भी. तो ये जैसे ही मैं ऐसे रखूंगा, रोटेट भी होता रहेगा, चलता भी रहेगा। कब तक चलेगा? जब तक ये प्लस उस नेगेटिव पे चला नहीं जाता। सो इट विल परफॉर्म ट्रांसलेशनल मोशन टिल द फील्ड एग्जिस्ट। जहां तक फील्ड एग्जिस्ट होती है तो ऐसे रखा है, चलता भी रहेगा, घूमता भी रहेगा, चलता रहेगा। कहां तक? जहां तक फील्ड एग्जिस्ट होती है। और घूमना कब तक है? घूमना तो तब तक ही है जब तक थीटा 0 नहीं हो जाता। सो दिस इज प्लेस्ड एट 30 डिग्री, एंगल बिकम्स 25, चल भी रहा है, एंगल भी डिक्रीज, 20 चल भी रहा है, डिक्रीज, अलाइंड। ये अलाइंड हो गया। जैसे ही अलाइंड हो गया, इट विल परफॉर्म ट्रांसलेशनल मोशन till the field exists and it will rotate till theta becomes 0. So what is the situation for non-uniform and uniform? Uniform में चलता नहीं है, सिर्फ घूमता है। घूमता कब तक है? थीटा 0 नहीं। नॉन यूनिफॉर्म में चलता भी है, घूमता भी। चलता कब तक है? जहां तक फील्ड चल है। घूमता कब तक है? अगेन घूमता तब तक ही है जब तक टॉर्क 0 नहीं हो जाता। और टॉर्क 0 कहां होगा? जहां पे थीटा 0 हो जाएगा, बिकॉज साइन थीटा 0, साइन 0 इज 0. So this is the situation or the difference between the uniform and non-uniform. Similarly, this is the यहाँ प्लस रखा है, यहाँ माइनस रखा है. Suppose I change the situation. I change the situation. ये अभी नॉन यूनिफॉर्म ही है. अब डायपोल ऐसे यहां पे प्लस और यहां माइनस. So now this is the direction of the dipole moment. और फील्ड की डायरेक्शन कहां है? इस तरफ है. So this will be the angle. फील्ड की डायरेक्शन इस तरफ, डायपोल मोमेंट इस तरफ, तो ये एंगल होगा. This will be the angle which will be the obtuse angle. अब यहां पे फोर्स ज्यादा, सॉरी इस तरफ फोर्स ज्यादा, ये माइनस है, और इधर ये फोर्स ज्यादा. यहां पे फोर्स ज्यादा होगा बिकॉज इट इज इन द रीजन वेयर द फील्ड इज अगेन इंक्रीजिंग अलोंग एक्स एक्सिस. तो ये फोर्स ज्यादा, ये फोर्स कम, तो रिजल्टेंट अपोजिट टू द इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड. सो इट डिपेंड्स ऑन द ओरिएंटेशन. इसमें ये एक्स एक्सिस पे जा रहा था, जब यहां प्लस था यहां माइनस, अभी मैंने उल्टा कर दिया है, तो ये अपोजिट साइड पे जाएगा. क्यों? क्योंकि ये साइड नेगेटिव है, तो नेगेटिव पे रिपल्शन विल बी मोर. यहां पे पॉजिटिव है तो यहां भी रिपल्शन, सो रिजल्टेंट विल बी अलोंग नेगेटिव एक्स एक्स. सो वी विल सी दिस सिचुएशन ऑल्सो विद एन एग्जाम्पल. टिल नाउ what we have to remember is, in non-uniform electric field, it performs translational motion as well as rotational motion. It will perform translational motion till field exists, and it will perform rotational motion till it gets aligned in the direction of the field. Now where this concept is used? So when we started this chapter, we have rubbed the two bodies. Again we came to that point also. Now suppose I comb my hair, and my hair are dry. So if I keep on combing my dry hair, you know that comb will attract a pieces of paper. That is our observation. So how this attraction take place? So this is the teeth of the comb. This is the teeth of the comb. These are called teeth of comb. Now when I rubbed it with my dry hair, due to friction it will gain some charge. So transfer of charges take place. Let us assume that these teeth are negatively charged. So if these teeth are negatively charged, means the transfer of electron has taken place from my head to the comb. This is an excess, and my head will become positively charged due to the deficiency of electron. Anyhow, this portion, the teeth, the pointed end, this is the pointed end, will be more charged as compared to this portion. ये portion तो बहुत दूर है. कौन? अपने हेयर के कांटेक्ट में आए या हेड के कांटेक्ट में टिथ के, सो सपोज इट इज नेगेटिवली चार्ज्ड, so I perform this electric field will be represented like this. This is non-uniform. Far away the field will be less. This is negatively charged. So negatively charged पे field lines terminate होती है और it approaches the negative. तो field line ऐसे बनाऊंगा. Now a piece of paper. Piece of paper is neutral. It consists of say 2 proton and 2 electron. Now when this teeth is brought near to this, ये नॉन यूनिफॉर्म फील्ड है, सब टीथ पे नॉन यूनिफॉर्म फील्ड होगी, बिकॉज द डेंसिटी ऑफ द चार्जेस विल बी मोर एट अ पॉइंटेड एंड एज कंपेयर टू द फार अवे एंड ऑफ द कॉम. तो यहाँ पे इंटेंसिटी टीथ पे ज्यादा है, तो एक टीथ पे मैंने ये नॉन यूनिफॉर्म बता दिया. अब दिस पीस ऑफ पेपर कंसिस्ट ऑफ और इट इज न्यूट्रल. जैसे ही इस पेज को टीथ के नजदीक रखते हैं या टीथ इज ब्रॉट नियर टू द पेज, यहां पे ये टीथ है, कैसे चार्ज है? नेगेटिवली. तो ये नेगेटिव चार्ज इसके इलेक्ट्रॉन्स को क्या करेंगे? रिपल करेंगे और देयर पॉजिटिव चार्ज विल बी अट्रैक्टेड. सो व्हाट विल बी द सिचुएशन? नेगेटिव चार्ज विल मूव अवे as we have done in charging by induction. We are not touching it. And this surface becomes positively charged. तो एक पोर्शन पॉजिटिवली चार्ज हो जाता है, एक पोर्शन नेगेटिवली चार्ज. इट इज कॉल्ड इंड्यूस्ड डायपोल. इंड्यूस्ड डायपोल मतलब विदाउट टचिंग द पॉजिटिव एंड नेगेटिव चार्जेस आर सेपरेटेड बाय अ फाइनाइट डिस्टेंस. द पॉजिटिव एंड नेगेटिव चार्ज सेपरेटेड बाय अ फाइनाइट डिस्टेंस इज dipole. So one end becomes positively charged, other end becomes negatively charged. So if our comb teeth becomes negatively charged, this positive charge are attracted towards it, and the situation is the piece of paper is attracted. This end becomes positive charge, this end becomes negatively charged. Our comb was negatively charged, and this is called induced dipole. So if your teeth becomes positively charged, the dipole will be like this. This is negative charge, this is positive charge. So this is how the dipole in non-uniform field behave. तो देखो ये attract होके ऊपर आई. Now attract होके ऊपर आया मतलब it perform a translational motion. तो piece of paper कैसे रखा था? You kept a piece of paper like this, say 2 plus 2 minus. This is neutral. तो अभी piece of paper ऐसे रखा है, तुम जैसे ही टीथ लेके आते हो तो ये ऐसे का ऐसे तो attract नहीं हो जाता. Paper rotate and then it's attract. So how the paper is attracted? ऐसे होता है. So if this is positive charge teeth, तो यहाँ माइनस ही था. तो क्या हुआ? Piece of paper rotate भी हुआ और यहां पे मूव भी हुआ. सो इट मूव्ड टिल द फील्ड एग्जिस्ट. और रोटेट कब तक होगा? टिल इट गेट्स अलाइन्ड इन द डायरेक्शन ऑफ द फील्ड. अब ये नेगेटिव चार्ज है तो डायपोल कैसे बनेगा? ये प्लस ये माइनस. नाउ व्हाट इज द डायरेक्शन ऑफ डायपोल मोमेंट फ्रॉम नेगेटिव चार्ज टू पॉजिटिव? तो देखो पी कैप की डायरेक्शन और इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड की डायरेक्शन क्या हो गई है? सेम हो गई. सो दिस इज कॉल्ड induced dipole moment. This is called induced dipole. Piece of paper में जो positive negative charge था, they are separated by a finite distance. So when we come to our dry hair, the dipole is induced in the piece of paper. It rotate. ऐसे पेपर रखा है piece of paper, तो rotate होगा कब तक? जब तक थीटा 0 नहीं हो जाता डायपोल में, और चल के चिपकेगा. कब तक कहां जाएगा? जहां पे फील्ड एग्जिस्ट होती है. और फील्ड कहां तक एग्जिस्ट हो रही है? टिथ ऑफ अ कॉम. सो दिस इज द एप्लीकेशन ऑफ अ डायपोल इन नॉन यूनिफॉर्म इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड. इन यूनिफॉर्म इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड इट परफॉर्म only rotational motion till it gets aligned in the direction of field. It does not perform translational motion in uniform field. In non-uniform, it will perform both. It will always move towards the field having towards the side which have more strength. and it will perform translational motion till field exists, and it will rotate till it's get aligned in the direction of the field. So this is the behavior of a dipole in uniform and non-uniform field. Have a good day.